What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and Dortmund fans, we have something to celebrate. There's a few breaking news that are going on today. You guys probably, if you follow Twitter or, a bunch of other things, you'll have some ideas. But just to break it down, one deal looks like it could potentially finish up relatively soon, and there's a couple other big players that we're being linked with. We need to do a live stream on it, get your guys' opinion, get your guys' thoughts, because Dortmund, at least on Twitter today, there's been a lot of hit or miss around Adeyemi. There's been a lot of people saying, Josh, he is a striker. We don't need another striker. We need to fix this back line. But, ladies and gentlemen, there are more than just the Adeyemi deal that potentially could go down. A couple big ones, as you guys could probably tell by the name. Schlotterbeck's a big one from Freiburg, who we've been linked to, as well as Dortmund. Stark is another one, the Hertha Berlin defender, who I've talked about a little bit on the channel. And then Zakaria as well. Three big names coming up. But the big news today was that personal terms were apparently agreed between Adeyemi and Dortmund, signing a 5-year deal with a potential of somewhere between 30 to 40 mil for the players. So I got some stories up here. We talked to some inside sources today. So we got some fun information for you guys. So if you guys are excited for this stream, I know it came a little bit later in the day, but be sure to drop a like on the stream now and let me know what your thoughts are. Do you want to see these happen or do you not? But we'll get right into it right away with the comments, and we get, yo, what's good? Not much, my man, not much. Just hanging out and talking a little BVB transfer news with a couple big stories. And it's specifically around Adeyemi. I want to hear your guys' opinion, because Adeyemi is an incredible young talent. I believe he's 18 years old, German, lighting it up in the Austrian Bundesliga. And we are the front runners. He's 19. He's 19. So he turned 19, or he's going to turn 20 in January. So he's a little bit older than I thought. But he's doing some really good stuff over in the Austrian Bundesliga, and it'll be exciting to see if he actually makes the jump on over to Borussia Dortmund. Hi, Josh. How you doing, my man? Lucas says, yo, what's up with these transfers? I'll break them down. We'll get to them one at a time. I'm just going to get to the chat a little bit before we get into one. Adeyemi is going to be the first one we touch on, and then we'll talk about Schlotterbeck and potentially Nico Stark, as well as even Haaland's future a little bit in this one as well. Nico Stark and Schlotterbeck are two big defenders that we've been linked to, but the future of Haaland's also an interesting topic that we'll touch on today, and Zakaria to lead it all off. Joshua, personal terms mean nothing. We need some real signings at Similduna. Personal terms, I know that it doesn't mean the deal's done, because, guys, I don't want to confuse anybody. The deal is absolutely not done. But this looks like it's pretty set in stone. Adeyemi has come out a few times in his camp, and it seemed like Dortmund was the number one spot, is where they want to go. And with personal terms agreed, as long as the figure is there, I don't think Salzburg will have any issue. They've had done business in the past, man named Erling Haaland. So it is pretty comfortable. Personal terms at least tells me that Adeyemi got where he wants to go. He wants to go to Borussia Dortmund. Those were the rumors that were going around, especially the fact that he wanted to go there over Barcelona. And now the fact that personal terms are agreed, it comes down to, will Dortmund pay up? We'll have to find out. Hi, Rude Canadian. How you doing? We got some love coming in there. Loving the Zakaria signing, though. Witsel is too slow. Zakaria will be very, very important. It's not a done deal, bro. Never said it was. Never said it was. Does my thumbnail or does my title say anything? No, it says agrees to terms. So not a done deal, as I've trying to make sure you guys do know, because it is not a done deal. But personal terms have been agreed. And that is obviously nice if you're looking to get Adeyemi on the side. Anthony cleared Adeyemi, so not too excited about that. I don't know about that. I'm curious to see what Dortmund are going to go for Adeyemi, and hopefully, potentially, we'll have a guest on the channel tomorrow to talk about it, seeing how Dortmund see Adeyemi fitting in, maybe some updated news on Erling Haaland as well. But let me just go through a little quick report here before we get going. And it says Borussia Dortmund is closing in on the deal regarding Adeyemi. Dortmund have already agreed personal terms. Salzburg demands 40 mil, but Dortmund is only willing to pay 35. A lot of good sources breaking this news today. It says that Adeyemi has made it clear that his future development is going to be in Germany, and that he's looking to go to Borussia Dortmund. And it's an intriguing move for Dortmund. It raises some questions around Erling Haaland as well. So obviously some of the big question marks. Is Adeyemi going to be the replacement, which we've heard that they're independent. We also have Daniel Mullen in there. Marco Rosa, what does he want? It's a lot of interesting stuff there, but in my opinion, seeing the story break the kind of way it was, this looks like it's going to be a done deal. It's not going to be a January transfer as well. So Adeyemi won't be joining Dortmund in January like Haaland did. He'll be seeing out his season in Salzburg, and then at the end of the season is when this will potentially go down, as long as the two clubs can agree on a potential transfer fees. But it does look pretty good, guys. So you guys are just joining us in the chat. We'll get back into the comments. I'm touching on our first little topic there. So be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well if you guys are new to the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are on Adeyemi, and if you think you'll find some success in Borussia Dortmund. It's almost been a month since I started learning German. It's really fun. Josh, you are a native speaker. Man, people just said, Josh, if you try to learn German, you're going to fail miserably. What's up, Josh? How you doing? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well for a few reasons. I like the idea of Adeyemi. I get where everyone is kind of, humming and hawing around where's the added pieces we need for this side. But being linked to two center backs who we'll get to a little bit later, and Zakaria, who, as you guys know, can play as a center back when needed, also a CDM. It's also very good news. Those will be three big signings for the summertime. Adeyemi, Schlotterbeck, and Zakaria. I'll take that every single day. And yes, the last signing from Salzburg did not disappoint. Soccer Report FC says St. Just and Stark wouldn't be a bad partner at all. The interesting thing about Stark, and we'll get to him soon, is that he's going to be a free agent. So I haven't heard any St. Just rumors in a long, long time, which tells me that he's probably not on the mind, because I believe there's a few options on free agents that could potentially come up, and Stark being one of them. But we'll get to that one very, very soon. We need a good fullbacks or a center back. We're linked with two of them, guys. Looking forward to the Europa League draw on Monday. I am, guys, and I will be live for it. I will be getting my butt out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and we'll be doing some live streams. So we'll be there for the Champions League. We'll be there for the Europa League. We'll find out who Dortmund is taking on. Should be fun. Yusuf says, "Let's go." Josh, what's your favorite type of wine? Not a big wine guy, man. If you're gonna catch Josh drinking, it's specifically beer. I don't know, man. I can't. It'd probably be a white wine because I'm a child that way. I just do not like wine. Beer or it's nothing. Come on. I agree, Adeyemi transfer, but we need some more defensive work. I agree. So let's get on to the next story then, guys. Let's get on to the next story. So Borussia Dortmund has allegedly showed interest in Niklas Stark and Nico Schlotterbeck. So you guys are familiar. Nico Schlotterbeck's having a fantastic season right now with Freiburg. Obviously, a big part of the reason they're being so successful. He's been linked to Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, so interesting to see there. But it does seem like Schlotterbeck is leaning towards Dortmund, and he would be a massive, massive pickup. On top of that, the reason Stark's name's coming through, who I personally brought him up on the channel in the past, but there was no legitimate rumors. I just brought him up because I do like Stark. I think that he could be a pretty solid little player there. But the big thing is that he's going to be a free agent, and that is the reason that he could come in. And can you imagine with the defensive frailties we've had, especially if we don't sign Prongercic, which I still want to see how this develops. There's also the rumors around Zagadou, guys. And I took it to Twitter today, and it was very interesting because Zagadou, and let's kind of break it down very quickly for you guys. So Zagadou is apparently not seeing eye to eye, or Dortmund and Zagadou aren't in talks to extend his contract. And to me, that makes sense. But there's two sides of this coin. The first side is the fact that, well, why would you get a young, promising prospect like Zagadou walk out for free? And I get that, and that is true because we don't know what Zagadou is going to become. However, what is very important to know, and why, and I'm not saying this is what I believe in, but why I think that Dortmund aren't that keen to potentially push through a contract is because the injury troubles that Zagadou have at Dortmund are terrible. And that's not new information. We all know that. So if you're looking to put money into Zagadou, you have to, one, lock him down for probably a long year contract, because Zagadou is probably looking for probably at least 3, 4, 5 years. He probably wants a decent chunk of money as well. So now you're committing to a young player with crazy injury problems. And the issue is, well, they're like, all right, Josh, well, he's not going to walk for 3. Why don't we sell him? Well, if these injury problems don't go away, then who is going to put that kind of money into Zagadou anyways? So I think that's what they're trying to figure out right now, is if he's looking at how his health and maybe looking at the end of the season, is Zagadou worth reinvesting in? Because we let him walk for free and then bring in someone else like potentially Schlotterbeck or Stark. That's what my assumption is, and I don't know what the correct answer is. But again, with Zagadou and potentially Prongicic not signing at the end of the season, if you're able to invest a little bit of money and pick up Nico Schlotterbeck as well on a free Stark, I think that's a really good piece of business. We'll have to see the way that these ones obviously develop. The Adeyemi one is actually relatively, from what we're understanding, relatively close, and the deal could get done. He could join in the summertime. But let's get back into the comments, guys. If you're just tuning in, be sure to drop a like. Let us know your thoughts on the different players that are being rumored in today. Has Schlotterbeck been linked? He has. I think we mentioned him on the channel. Or you guys mentioned him on the channel. So credit to you guys. You guys mentioned him on the channel and said, Josh, we need him ASAP. And then a couple days later, and I agreed with you because I'm like, yes, great call. And that's a realistic Dortmund center back signing. And we have officially been linked to him, so which is pretty cool. I've seen Salzburg want 40 mil. I've seen that as well. And I hear Dortmund are obviously looking towards that 35. So I'll have to see how that plays out. I don't think it's going to be a make or break. So let's not think that it will. I'm pretty sure this deal will get done one way, shape, or form, especially because I personally believe Adeyemi wants to go to Dortmund. So knowing that Salzburg know that, again, I'm pretty sure some way, some form, a deal will get put on. I'm digging the Simpsons character there. People are put off by Adeyemi transfer fee, but I'm not, for the fact that we're probably getting other players on free transfers. What do you think the fee will be? I personally think the fee will be around 35. I think that Dortmund will get their way. They seem to play hardball, and knowing that Adeyemi wants there. Again, this is all speculative, so you can take my word for it if you want to. It doesn't matter. We'll find out, but I'd assume it'd probably be towards the 35 mark. And then, yeah, a couple free agent signings. I mean, if you're able to get Stark on a free, if you're able to get Zakaria on a free, and you're going to put some type of money into Schlotterbeck, that is a good window. That's addressing some areas. I know the fullbacks, guys, isn't addressed, but I don't think the fullbacks will get addressed unless we can flip Schultz. If we can get him out, maybe we get another left back. Guerrero's obviously going to stay there. And then I keep telling everyone, we have Meunier, we have Murray, we have Chan. I know you don't want to hear Pasak, but we do have options at the right back. And I just don't see Dortmund putting money into there when there's other areas at stake. Plus the future of Erling Haaland, which the story of the day for Erling Haaland is that his future is already decided. It's a story that came out today. Borussia Dortmund superstar is being one of the best strikers in the game, and he's currently enjoying another fantastic season, all of his incredible numbers. And it is believed that the center forward has a release clause of 75 million euros, which will come into effect in 2022, which is obviously queuing up some teams. They mentioned some teams that have been potentially interested in Haaland, which if you can afford them, you're interested. So Chelsea, City, United, PSG, for some reason, Barcelona's in there, Madrid. And it says that statements from his agent is that they already know what Haaland's next move could be. And it also says a move to Barcelona, however, could be difficult because, their thing. So it's interesting to note. So I take of that what you will. But from a pessimist side, I'm reading that they already know what their future has in store, and all of a sudden we're looking at Adeyemi. I don't know. They have mentioned earlier in the past that the Adeyemi transfer will be different, when not like for Haaland, so it didn't rely on the Haaland transfer. I just think it's weird timing for a report to come out that says that the future of Erling Haaland has already been decided. No one has said what that is, and now we're shopping Adeyemi. So we'll get back in the comments, see what you guys have to say. I would love Schlotterbeck. He's the next big German CB. Unsure about Stark, to be honest. And I agree. I don't think Stark's going to come in and make a massive, massive difference. I think that Stark would come in for depth, something that we clearly don't have as center backs. And it would be very nice, especially, like I said, if they decide against Prongicic or extending Zagadou potentially, it's not bad bringing in a decent, comfortable Bundesliga type center back. And I have no issue with that. But, I mean, in my opinion, next season, Schlotterbeck beside Akanji, and I'm smiling with Hummels coming in when needed, Stark coming in with needed. Those are 4 center backs right there. Schlotterbeck, yes. Stark, no, I've watched him. Again, not that he's going to be the main man. I think that and again, the Stark rumors are just that there's some interest. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. From the reports I saw, I don't know if signing Schlotterbeck means no Stark. I just know that they're showing a little bit of interest in both players, but Schlotterbeck is clearly the main option. Loan Zagadou to a team. It's difficult when he deals with so many injuries. He has to stay healthy to be able to pull that off. But yes, I saw that Tappa Whitmore was sacked. And it's not surprising. But a lot of positive feedback today from Schlotterbeck, which is good to see. Let me know in the chat, guys, which player you're most excited for. And if you, because again, there's some debate on Twitter. Do you think Adeyemi is worth investing in? Just put a yes or no in the chat right now. Is Adeyemi worth investing in? Yes or no? I think Salzburg would be a good signing. Yeah, he wouldn't be a bad one. I think he spent some time at Seville. I don't know why I said Seville. It's Sevilla, I believe. And then he went back to Salzburg and has really turned around his career because he was not a fit there. Didn't get a lot of minutes. Hope the 5-year contract works out and they won't let him leave early. Angie, what do you think about Adeyemi? You excited? You excited for it? Can't wait for this Bochum 5 takeaways. Yes, guys, if you guys didn't know, Borussia Dortmund is giving us a kit to give away. So if you have not entered the kit giveaway to win a cup kit, head on over to the International Fan App, go to groups, go to JJD TV, and then comment on the Der Klassiker post for a chance to win a cup kit. It's all free. You don't have to, it doesn't cost anything. But yes, the Bochum 5 takeaways, I'll be picking the winner, and Dortmund will be shipping you, whoever I pick the winner is, a nice Borussia Dortmund cup kit. So if you want a chance, be sure to head over there. Thoughts on, yeah, I don't know, man. From what I've read and what I remember from his time at Schalke is that he's a defense-minded manager, and it kind of is against the grain of what Leipzig is trying to build. I think he's a solid manager. I think what he did at Schalke was very impressive. I think he had some decent success as well for Sparta Moscow, and then obviously, I mean, he's still a very young manager. I believe he was 29. I think he was 29 when he was managing. Unless I'm thinking of, could be. I don't know. He's a very young manager regardless when he was at Schalke, and he did very, very well there. But I don't know if, look, as I said, I like him. I just don't know if his style of play suits what Leipzig's trying to build. I feel like this is a very reactionary type of appointment. But I don't know. Leipzig's clearly struggling this season. So, I mean, maybe if he has a little bit of reins, I doubt he'll be a long-lasting manager. Just because, like I said, I don't think it's the style that every RB club is known for. European teams need to buy or Alvarez. Wouldn't it be interesting to include Zagadou in the Adeyemi deal? I can't say I know enough about the players that you mentioned to put in an opinion, so I'm sorry about that, my man. But I don't think Zagadou would want to go to Salzburg, so no, it wouldn't make any sense because I don't think Zagadou would agree to go to Salzburg. I think Zagadou he was a very highly rated prospect. I just don't think with his injuries and even in my personal opinion, sometimes his performance, he's quite lived up to that. But I do think that he thinks that he can play at a very competitive level, and I just don't think he would be interested in heading to Salzburg. Would you take a run at Antonio Rudiger, from a former academy kid? I absolutely would, but I don't think Rudiger will be interested in Dortmund, and I don't think Dortmund would be interested in Rudiger's wages. Because Rudiger has been playing some pretty good football of late, and I think he'll get a pretty solid move to almost anywhere he wants to go. BVB needs to get their signings together by January. If Haaland leaves, then every club will jack up their money. So the signings of Schlotterbeck, Adeyemi, and Zakaria are all to be in the summer. So none of these signings are aimed towards January from my understanding. Same goes for Haaland. I've told you guys many times, and maybe I'm blindsided and I don't know because I don't think anyone really knows what that release clause says, but I'm fairly confident Haaland won't leave in January. There's obviously a big chance he leaves in the summer. And the 3 signings that we're looking at, the big ones, if we pull them off, Adeyemi, Schlotterbeck, and Zakaria will all be in the summer as well. So, yeah, I mean, Angie, you make a point, but I think maybe that's why they're trying to get Adeyemi now, or even get some of these deals done now. So then we figure out what will happen. Maybe some loose lips let slide what Haaland's future may have in store. But we're not sure yet. Schlotterbeck would honestly be so massive. We need a solid CB that's an upgrade to Hummels. I agree. He's the one I'm actually most excited for. I'm still a little wary. I'm going to try to bring on a nice little guest tomorrow who's very familiar with Adeyemi. Very, very familiar with Adeyemi. So hoping to get an insight for you guys to see what the game plan would be, where he would play, what he would look at, potentially some insight on Haaland. And that should be a good little episode. I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow. It's going to depend on my guest. But he watches a lot of Salzburg, very close to that club. So it'll be a good insight on Adeyemi and what us Dortmund fans should expect if he does indeed come over to our club. Daka is good, but Leipzig got him. They lost to Napoli, so they're in the Conference League. I watched that game today. It was a fun game today, to be honest. No need to get a new CB. We've already got a great CB, Leonard Maloney. Okay. You must be from the US. But yeah, I like Leonard Maloney. I just don't think he's ever gonna play for Dortmund. Is just I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think looking at his age, he was mostly looked at to play for the second team. But I like Leonard Maloney. I hope he finds success and maybe gets a few little looks at Dortmund. That's just my opinion. Will Dortmund win the Europa League, Josh? I'm hoping, man. It's a bumping little Europa League this year. We got Barca in it. We got Napoli in it. We could play Napoli in the round of 32. Dortmund. We got Leipzig. It's going to be wild, man. Going to be wild. Des to Dortmund. I'm all for it. I wouldn't be against it, but I don't think it will happen. Like I said, I don't think we're going to target a right back. I take Adeyemi, no problem. Lucas coming in says, not 40 mil this summer. I would trust him to become incredible, but 40 mil is too much. You can stabilize the squad much better and relying. Yes. I mean, it depends. And again, that's why I think that the debate of how much that Dortmund is going to put into Adeyemi is kind of the talking point. Because I personally think this deal will get done. This just screams Borussia Dortmund. This is what they want to do. They, like I said, with the reports coming out today about Adeyemi, kind of going on the fact that Haaland's future is decided, tells me that they're going to try to figure out a way to bring a couple players in and bring exciting young talent. So when one exciting young talent comes in Dortmund, one walks out. So it does make me a little bit nervous about the future of Erling Haaland. But regardless, I don't think they'll play 40. Like I said, I think they'll win that battle around 35. But that's what they're built on. That's what Dortmund's signings are excited about. They want young, talented ones. And when you're looking at Dortmund's profile, it's a picture of Adeyemi. Young, talented. I mean, he's literally 19 years old, scoring goals for fun. A lot of talent. German. It just makes a lot of sense. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I know that was the big debate on Twitter today, was the money could be spent for fullbacks, for center backs, for CDMs. And I get that. But the good news is that we're looking at Adeyemi, but we're also looking at other center backs. And like I said, two names I've already brought up today, a free one for Stark and Schlotterbeck, and then, of course, Zakaria, who, as we know, can play as a center back. So there are some options there to strengthen that. But I don't think there's a way that, especially if Haaland leaves, that Dortmund aren't going to invest a splash of money to bring in an exciting young player. And Adeyemi is literally the profile of a Dortmund-type player. European teams need to buy. I read that one already. I'm not sure who those players are. BVB are also checking out. Yes, I saw that as well. Another young Pole. They're using the Blaszczykowski links, which, again, I don't know much about that player as well, but I hear that he's very, very highly regarded, so it could be a nice little one. We have some good luck with the Poles as well. We're at the same club that dropped 38 mil on a 30-year-old Hummels. We can spend that on an incredible talent like Adeyemi. There's some good debate, guys. There is some good debate. Dortmund needs to get my guy Miles Robinson. Do you start that rumor? Was it you? Maybe get rid of Paslak. I'm not against strengthening the right back system. I just like I said, guys, Dortmund invested in Thomas Meunier, and Thomas Meunier's performances, albeit average last season, have gotten a little bit better this season. I don't think that they feel that Meunier is the weak spot to this team. And like I said, they also think that there's depth. They have young Murray coming back. They have Chan who can slip out there. I know they have Paslak, and you guys don't want to hear that, but to Dortmund, they have options at right back. The fans, I know it's very widely discussed that Meunier is not good enough. No one on that right-hand side is really good enough. But I personally don't think that's how Dortmund see it. And I see them looking to invest in other areas, specifically an exciting young talent like Adeyemi, obviously replacing Delaney and Witsel when they're gone, in Zakaria, and then a couple center backs as well. But I'm not against it. I would love a right back. I just don't think it's going to happen. Hello, what's up, White? How you doing, my man? If you guys are just tuning in today, man, be sure to drop a like on the chat. It's always appreciated. Drop a sub as well. And keep us updated with your thoughts on the transfers today. Could we get Diego Carlos? We could not. Does not fit the profile. You got to look at, like, I want to say even like 26, maybe 27 and down, primarily playing in the Bundesliga if you're going to get upwards of 25, 26. But yeah, no, Diego Carlos won't be one. It's another player that definitely won't be an option. Want for Tongan? No. Adrian, is he struggling for you? You guys just got moved on to the round of 16. Is he not a big prominent part of that? But friend of the channel, Adrian, how you doing, my friend? I appreciate you tuning in. Dropping some Vertonghen story there, but no, we're gonna move on from that. Canadian bias. Vertonghen left Spurs. I remember thinking Haaland was just going to be a trivial question and score like 9 goals against Honduras. I remember that. Now we need to land a long-term successor for Zagadou, or for Hummel. Zagadu's injury prone. Yeah, and I think that will potentially be Schlotterbeck, and I'm totally fine with that. No way 40 mil, it's too much. Huge potential for a national team. I want more German talents. Kareem the Dream. We need more defensive left back with pace. I don't disagree at all. My big point with that is I don't see us targeting a left back until we get rid of Schultz. The amount of the wage bill of Schultz is quite ridiculous. We have to get him off the books before anything else happens. So I don't disagree, Luca. I 100% agree. I would love a talented, young, defense-minded left back. But until we can get rid of Schultz, I don't see that being invested in. But Zakaria, Schlotterbeck would be incredible, but need to wait for... Yep, I agree. White, my man, nice member here on the channel. And he's been, 5 months. Been a member on the channel for 5 months. Legend tier, my man. Appreciate the support, White, on the channel. Means a lot. And hope you're keeping well today. Dream the dream. Did you see Chukwuzano injury today? I did. He slipped because it was pouring rain and smacked his face off of, I think, someone's knee. Hey Josh, if we score a few more goals on against Besiktas, no, we are out of the Europa League. And it wouldn't have mattered. It was head to head. Chances that Rashford gets in the first team, I'd say very slim. I don't see Rosa putting the trust in him actually. And it depends what you mean. Because I mean, he could potentially get in there for the bench and come on for like 4 or 5 minutes from time to time, but I don't think he'll ever start a match. I don't think Maloney will start a match. Papadopoulos as well. But they can always sniff into the bench of a first team. We should try to get Eden Hazard on loan. No. Dortmund should buy Dest or Joe Scally. I mean, again, I wouldn't be against it. I just think because of the position, right back isn't going to be a look for us. Wouldn't Okone be perfect for us? Sad that BVB isn't looking into him. From what I've read, and someone told me on the stream yesterday that Okone is heading to Fiorentina. But we were looked at him for a little bit. Where did George go? I just saw him. I see him in the chat, but I don't see him on the screen. But George is here, and he's been a member for 9 months. Look at George, man. Coming in here just so he can specifically throw some digs at us. That's okay. But George says Dortmund versus Barca in Los Classic final in the Europa League. All right. George is in here taking shots. And you know what? I mean, that's the final everyone would want. Let's be honest. Dortmund, Barca, Europa League final. And honestly, it would matter more to Barca because they probably won't qualify for the Champions League. They're going to need that to be able to qualify. BVB need Joe Scally. BVB needs to be the Bundesliga U.S. national team. No. Joe Scally needs to stay at Gladbach, man. He's a talented young player. I don't think he's ready for a move. I think he needs to just continue to develop in the league and see what happens there. So what happened to Madueke? I've said it a couple times, guys. I wouldn't think that Madueke is going to come to Dortmund. So if you think that there's a chance, just kind of like flush that out back because there's no way we're going to target him. I think that Adeyemi is that signing. If we didn't target Adeyemi, maybe those names can start circling up again. But Adeyemi is going to be the big signing in terms of young attacking players for Dortmund. And then they're going to address other areas like center back, like CDM. But I don't see another player like him coming in. But I could be wrong, but that's just my honest opinion. Oh, heck no to Eden Hazard. Yeah, we're not going to sign Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard is a flop. My man was so good at Chelsea and just completely fell apart. I want Rosa to give Colin some minutes, just 4 or 5. He looks really good. I mean, there's a lot of hype around him, and it was rumored a little bit ago that he was going to potentially come into the team and get a few minutes. He was training with them, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get that chance or not. Who's going to take Schultz? No one wants him. It'd have to be like a loan move and like take him for a season or two. We'll cover like half of his wages or something along those lines to be able to get him off the books. But yeah, I think it'd be tough to see a deal like that go through. But do you see any Canada players ever playing for BVB? I mean, probably not. No, knowing my luck, I doubt it. I think it'd be too much of a match made in heaven for me. But I mean, David could. I don't know if the system we play would suit him, so I don't know if they'd drop that kind of money. But I mean, I don't see one joining Dortmund, unfortunately, anytime soon. I thought Buchanan maybe, but again, the age I thought was just a little bit too much. So no, as much as, I'm biased. But there we go. We got someone to take Schultz off our hands there. But I don't know if he'd be interested in playing in the Bundesliga. Oh, David for sure. David he came out and said that he was interested in playing in the Bundesliga. I just don't think that Dortmund would really suit him that much. I think he needs to play. I think Gladbach would have suited him at the time, but would love Adeyemi, but I'm a bit worried he doesn't fit the winger role. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I'm hoping to get a friend of the channel on tomorrow who covers Salzburg very in depth. He has a really good handle on Adeyemi, his position, his strength, probably exactly what Dortmund are going to see in him. So that'll be an interesting video. I'm hoping to get up tomorrow to kind of do a little deep dive into Adeyemi because again, I watched Adeyemi from time to time, but not to the detail that our friend has. And I don't know exactly what it is. From what my understanding, that Adeyemi can play anywhere pretty much in the front, like from like a left wing, right wing type of position, center forward, striker. So I'd be curious to see what he believes his role at Dortmund would potentially be. Offer Oliver Deadwood to Newcastle. We should absolutely offer everything to Newcastle. Why not? Be a great way to get good money and then trim some of the dead weight. We should spend 40 mil on another striker while our center back problems. My man. Young players, yes. But, I mean, it's tough. I love seeing the young players coming through, but like Mukuku was one of the most sought after youngsters, one of the most hyped youngsters I've ever seen. And he is not fitting the bill yet. It's not as seamless transition as it always may be. Just because they're doing it at a youth level means absolutely nothing to me going forward. Adeyemi is doing it at a professional level. That is a fact. So Adeyemi is worth more. But I mean, it is still a bit of a risk because he's only doing it at the Austrian Bundesliga, a little bit in the Champions League with no disrespect to that. But I think they just saw what they did with Erling Haaland and are thinking, okay, well, Adeyemi, very not similar type of player, but a similar path that he can come in here and hopefully good money, well invested again. Where you've seen the struggles that some academy players can have. And it's when's the last Dortmund academy player that's broken through and been consistent? That's an issue. I know these kids are very good and I really like them, but I'm curious. Mukuku's still very young. He scored a few goals, broken a couple of records, but hasn't seemed like he's going to be that guy, that number one fit. But the good news is, like I keep saying on this stream, guys, we're linked with a bunch of players that kind of just splash all over the place. The attacker, which could replace Haaland, Adeyemi. 2 different center backs. Schlotterbeck, who is my prayer to partner side Akanji next season, but also potentially some depth as well if we get Stark on a free. There's Zakaria as well, who would be Witzel's replacement and can drop in the back 4 if needed, back 5 especially. So there's a lot of good news on top of this, but I know what a lot of the flip side of the coin is, and it's the fact that they're looking at our issues this season, and they're definitely starting with the back end. So hopefully, I mean, Schlotterbeck slides into that back 4. I think it drastically changes it. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Mukuku is 16. He is. Schlotterbeck would be perfect, and I absolutely agree. Our German national coach is hoping Adeyemi will be the future striker for the team. And there's no better place to develop than coming over to Dortmund. So we're going to have to wait and see. Adeyemi could be a Gnabry replacement. And we'll have a better idea tomorrow. Because I'm genuinely curious to see what the conversation will go, to see what Adeyemi's best position is going to actually be. Werner's still clear as a second striker. So Adeyemi will most likely be sub. Well, for right now, yeah. But I mean, Timo Werner is not the Timo Werner he was supposed to be before going to Chelsea. Adeyemi does it for Germany too. This is a no-brainer. There's no reason to cheap out on Adeyemi. Guys, don't say things that there's no reason to doubt him. It'll be interesting. I mean, there's risks to every transfer you're ever going to make. But he's a very highly sought-after youngster. I think Dortmund would be a good home for him. And it just makes me question what's going to happen with Erling Haaland. But there's some big news, and I'm excited. I'm excited for all the transfers. Adeyemi does make me excited. Schlotterbeck makes me fired up. I really hope that could go down. Some depth, whether we get Stark or not, that sort of excites me. That way we have bodies. Imagine having a player like Schlotterbeck getting a red card or something, or a Kanji picking up a knock, and then having Stark, who's a reasonable, decent Bundesliga center back, can come in and do a job. That's kind of what excites me there. And then Zakaria, I think, is a good player as well. Having a pretty decent season for a struggling Gladbach side, but he'll come in and do a job as well. Des looks like he's leaving Barca. Where do you think he should go? I thought he should have went to Bayern when he left Ajax. I did not think that Barca was going to fit him. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, especially because Bayern desperately needed a right back. But now that he went to Barca and it's been a disaster, I mean, using him as a winger, using him as a fullback, he looks like he can't defend with his life. And I like Serginho Dest. I watch a lot of Barcelona, and he has never really looked the part, does not look comfortable. And they're probably like, holy crap, man, we spent a lot of money on this kid. Let's get him out the door, try to get some money back, because there is still a lot of potential there. Someone rumored, I don't know if it's legitimate that he'd go back to the Netherlands, but I think somewhere in the Bundesliga would be nice for him. But it's tough because, I mean, I don't know if Bayern are going to be still interested. I mean, he's better than Pavard. Why not? But I'd actually probably say Bayern. If I was Des, I'd hope that Bayern would come knocking, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bayern would find a better alternative after seeing the poor experience he had with Barca. We should quick sell Zagadou. Turbo Timo. Adeyemi will be great. I think so too. Barca has even used Des as a striker in a camp. Des to Barca. Would you take him, Bayern Munich? Would you take Dest? 20 mil? Mukuku has been injured. He's still playing experience on our U19s in the B team. He needs to stay for now. I agree. I thought Mukuku, and it's not my place to judge because I think Dortmund are unbelievable at developing young talent, but I never thought that, especially with Haaland there, Mukuku was going to come in here and play a lot. And unfortunately, it's just been a tough situation for him. But yeah, I think playing down with the U19s, the B team, I think that's where he needs to be, get a lot of minutes and start getting back to the player that made him so special before he made his first team appearance with Dortmund. Des can be a right back if he's taught now how to defend. Dest. Pavard is not that good. Pavard is not good. He's a center back. Not Bayern. I just don't want to be in the situation, Josh, in watching the classic. If I was Bayern, I'd buy Frankie de Jong and put Kimmich right back. Kimmich is the best number 6 in world football. I would not stick him at right back. That would be a waste of Kimmich. A big, big waste of Kimmich. Marcelo Flores debuted yesterday. Did you watch? I did not watch. I heard he played 8 minutes, though. Tactical manager was tweeting me a little bit, so I don't think he had a big showing, but chances are he could still be in our January camp, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Pavard to Dortmund. Des to Bayern. What do you think, Josh? Not a chance. A big striker is also needed as a backup to Haaland. Yeah, I guess. Because, I mean, the type of strikers we'd have now would be Malen and Mukuku and Adeyemi, so that's interesting. BVB shouldn't spend 40 to 35, that's it. The deal will probably go through at around 35, would be my guess. Mukuku plus Adeyemi are so exciting they can develop to be our legends. I'd be careful with that word, White. I have a trouble to believe that we could have another Marco Reus. I just feel, I don't know, that's just me. I hope, but we'll have to wait and see. There's something special about giving that type of dedication to a team. It's why you don't see it all the time. Mooney and Guerrero are great. We need to buy a center back and a striker because Haaland will be gone soon. We'll link with Stark and Schlotterbeck for your center backs, and we're linked with Adeyemi as the Haaland replacement in my eyes. But maybe we're surprised. Maybe Adeyemi comes in regardless, and he's supposed to be the new winger, and we target a striker as well. Maybe we bring in Weghorst for fun, but I know you guys are totally against that. Josh. Frankie de Jong is a top 10 defensive midfielder. Yeah, but Kimmich is the number 1, so you're not going to move him to right back. Do you guys have faith in Malen, or is Adeyemi acting more as a backup striker? I think Adeyemi could be used as the wings as well. So I think that's a potential idea about it, is the fact that Malen potentially is going to be the guy to start as striker if Haaland moves on, and then we have Adeyemi playing from the wings. Adeyemi will fly to the Premier League another 4 years. So, I mean, it's possible. BVB should buy Baku. When pitch notes, 100% agree. I rate him so highly, but like I said, unfortunately, we'll probably get ruled out of getting him because of how much he'll cost. And like I said, I don't personally think Dortmund are prioritizing the right back, which, lame. I used to buy Curtis Jones. Kimmich and Goretzka over De Jong. I agree with all of that. Fred, number 1. Will Adeyemi join after the winter break or in the summer? So the signings we've been linked to today, guys. And I'm going to wrap it up before I end the stream here. The players we're looking at is Adeyemi for potentially, after agreeing personal terms, which is fantastic, for a 5-year deal. It's going to potentially wait to see. Salzburg want 40 mil. Dortmund want to offer 35. We're going to have to wait and see where that deal ends up going down, but it won't be till the summertime anyways. Schlotterbeck won't be till the summertime if we're able to pull off that transfer, which would be massive. Stark wouldn't be till the summertime because he'd be a free agent, same as Zakaria. So all these deals are rumored to start in the summer, and in my opinion, as well as potentially Haaland leaving. I've stressed a lot of times that I don't see him leaving in this January window. We'll have to wait and see. But those are the players that we've been linked to, and honestly, every name makes me happy in one kind of way. It does make me nervous leaving Haaland because I just don't. He's irreplaceable. Unfortunately, taking Haaland out of this team makes us drastically worse off, and I don't think there's any proper replacement. There's just simply not. We're a worse team without Erling Haaland because he's just that world class of a striker already. I got a couple more comments before we end it up today. Hey Josh, hope you're doing well. It's 1 a.m. here. Was able to manage to get on the live stream. Hoping we can sign Adeyemi because he's German. I can see him staying in our team for a long time. Potentially, man. Potentially. It depends how good he gets, and then the other clubs come knocking. Always an issue. Thanks for addressing the news, Josh. Can't wait for another one of these transfer rumors. I appreciate that, my man. Hope you're doing well. Where would you play if you have Müller / Musiala, Kimmich, and Goretzka? I think he's asking somebody else. But Andrew's here, and he gets the last comment of the day. Okay, is it just me, or is this too perfect of a transfer window? I find it hard to believe we'll actually get all 3. It seems like we potentially could. It seems like we could. Like Schlotterbeck, Adeyemi, and Zakaria, which I'm just all for. All right, two more questions. Then we're done. Why not go for Chiesa? I can tell you right now, way too expensive. And Demirel, with the money from Haaland. I guess, yeah, and I haven't taken in the Haaland money, so I don't know, but I just think Chiesa would be too much, and I don't think Chiesa would come to Dortmund. I know we were briefly linked with him, but I never thought that was a realistic one. I would take Kramich. I'd take Weghorst too for different options, but you guys absolutely hate those ones. And last question of the day. Do you think Bellingham will leave this summer? No, I do not. I think Bellingham will stay for the rest of this season in at least one more season. And then I think he'll end up at Liverpool. So guys, we're going to wrap up the stream for the day. I appreciate you guys tuning in for this Borussia Dortmund transfer news update. A lot of good stories that came in today. Potentially we'll have a video coming out tomorrow before our Bochum watch along. And on the 5 takeaways of the Bochum game, guys, remember, I'm giving away a cup kit. So head over to the International Fan App and get signed up for that. And drop a like and drop a sub on your way out if you guys have not done so yet. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys, and cheers, friends.